All right, well, good afternoon. Thanks for joining me. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to do some good review of some of the moves we've learned towards the beginning of the form. Last week or last class, we spent a good bit of time on what I would consider one of the more challenging moves in the form, brush knee and step forward. So we're going to work on now some of what I would say are maybe a little easier moves that come after that. So we'll review those a little bit, or we'll also work on some of the newer moves that we're getting into towards the middle of the form as well. All right, well, let's go ahead and get loosened up. Start with our feet together, hands at our sides, and tilt our head back and forwards and back and forwards and side to side. Okay, dragging the chin across the chest. All right, let's roll our shoulders back. And forwards. Okay, separate the feet. Single shoulder. Keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed as you turn the body. All right, let's now turn and throw our elbows back behind us, making a even larger turning of the upper body. Okay, I will bring our backs of our hands together and we'll just make a big circle, rolling them forwards, rolling the hands around each other, just to loosen up the elbows. All right, let's roll them backwards now. Back towards the body and down, forwards. All right, we'll interlock our fingers and roll our wrists around, forwards and backwards, no particular pattern. Okay. All right, we'll put our hands on our hips. Try to keep your feet and your head in one spot. Make a big circle with the hips. All right, other direction. All right, let's separate the feet and we'll make a big circle with the upper body. All right, other direction. Okay. All right, feet together, hands on the knees. Circle the knees one way. And other direction. Okay, we'll go up on one toe. We'll circle the ankle. And other direction. Switch feet. And other way. Okay. All right, so normally we would get into a little bit of a stretch, but today's Qigong, we're actually going to do the 8 pieces of brocade, which includes some nice stretching in it. So we'll just go straight into the Qigong. All right, so we'll start with our feet together. Back straight, head lifting, shoulders relaxed. And we'll inhale. Exhale, bending the knees, small step to the left. Inhale, raising the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down to the chest, to the infinity posture. And we'll just try to relax, take a couple of deep breaths. Exhale, lower the hands. All right, now let's raise the hands up over the head. Interlock the fingers, with the palms facing down on top of your head. And we'll inhale as we stretch up towards the ceiling, going up onto the toes. And exhale, coming back down. Turn the palms up towards the ceiling, and we'll inhale as we stretch up again. And exhale, back down. And we'll go up again with the palms facing down. Again, up onto the toes as you inhale. And exhale. Palms up, inhaling up. And exhale down. We'll continue alternating with the hands. Okay. All right, now we're going to bring our hands down to the chest with the backs of the hands together. I'm going to separate our feet to a horse stance, and whatever height is comfortable for you. All right, and we'll start by going to your right as we turn the hands out and we extend the right hand towards the side and pulling back with the left fist, as if you're kind of pulling open a bow and arrow. And exhale, bringing the backs of the fists back together at center. We'll inhale, going the other way. Extend the palm of the left hand to the side. So we pull back with the right fist. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, back to the right. You can have all the fingers bent except for the forefinger, called a palm. Exhale, back to center. Inhale to the left. And exhale. Watching that extended palm. Continue. Bring our feet back to shoulder width. You can relax the hands. The right hand will come up on top of the head with the palm facing up. The left hand at the base of your rib cage. All right. And for this next one, we're going to exhale as we separate the hands, pressing towards the heavens and earth. And we'll inhale as the arms go to the sides, switching positions. The left hand on top of the head, right hand at the base of the ribs, and exhale, pressing outward. Inhale, switching. And exhale, pressing. Inhale, switch. Exhale, press. And continue. All right, and we'll bring our top hand down, both hands down to the sides, about the sides of your hips. And this next one is just a simple turning of the head. All right, so we're going to inhale as you turn your head to the right. And exhale back to center. Inhale, turning to the left. As far as is comfortable for you, looking back over the shoulder. Exhale, back to center. Inhale to the right. Exhale. And continue side to side. Again, just like all Qigong, feel free to follow the cycle of your own breath, even if it's faster or slower than mine. All right, and for this next one, we're going to separate our feet to another horse stance. We're going to place the cusps of your hands on the sides of the hips with the thumbs pointed back behind you. All right, and for this next one, we're going to exhale as we turn the body to the right and lower the upper body down towards the leg and then down towards the center. And inhale as you come up the right side. Turn back to center. Now exhale down the left side. And inhale, coming back up the right side. Exhale down, right side, and up the left side. And we'll continue from side to side. And bring our feet together, back to shoulder width. And relax the hands. Right, keeping those knees slightly bent. Place the hands on the backs of the legs. And we're going to exhale as we slowly bend down. The hands following the backs of the legs as you go down. And inhale, slowly coming back up. Going up onto the tiptoes and holding the breath for just a moment. And exhale, lowering the heels and sliding the hands down as you bend back down. Inhale up. Onto the toes. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. We'll continue with a few more. Right. Inhale as we come back up. And we're going to separate the feet one more time to kind of a taller horse stance. And let's inhale as we chamber our fists at the base of the ribs, elbows pointing back. And with a focused gaze, kind of watching the area kind of just in front of your each fist, kind of a 2 or 3 inches in front of your fist. You're going to slowly exhale as you turn the fist and extend a slow punch out in front of you. Now inhale as you pull that fist in and slowly punch with the other hand. And exhale, chambering one hand, punching with the other. Inhale and exhale. And continue. Right, bring our feet back, shoulder width, and with our hands down, kind of on the fronts of the legs, knees still slightly bent. And we're going to exhale as we slowly bend down. And if you can grab your ankles or grab your toes. And we're just going to hold that position just for a moment. Take a couple of deep breaths. And now we'll slowly inhale as we stand back up. And if it feels okay for you, you can also lean back a little bit, looking up towards the sky, letting the arms dangle, and take a few deep breaths in this position. Feel free to just look forward if all the up and down is too much. And we'll exhale back down. Take a couple of breaths again in this position. And inhale as you come back up. And leaning back, if it feels good for you. And a couple more breaths in this position. And we'll just do one more. Exhale, back down. Inhale, back up. And exhale, back to center. Now let's do a few gathering the chi, close out the set. Inhale as we raise the arms, gathering. And exhale, directing down. Inhale, gathering. Exhale. Drifting down within the body. Do a couple more. And we'll close with the infinity posture. Inhale. And exhale. Exhale as you lower the hands. And one last breath as you bring your feet together. All right, very good. That was the 8 pieces of brocade. All right, let's go ahead and take just a short water break. Get a quick drink of water and just kind of loosen up a little bit. And we'll come right back and we'll get into some review of some different Tai Chi techniques that we've been working on these last few weeks. All right, I'll see you in just a moment. All right, let's go ahead and get back to it. All right, so I guess it was on Friday, we spent a good bit of time reviewing the brush knee and step forward movement. And I was actually thinking about this some last night about kind of the relative difficulty of all the different moves in this form that we've been learning. And really, even though it's perhaps physically not the most challenging move, I would say that the brush knee and step forward movement and all these transitions, I would actually say that in terms of the details, I would say it's actually probably one of the more detail heavy movements in the form. So, because I was thinking about the fact that I spent so much time on it on Friday, and I think that's why. I think it's because it's, to me at least, I think in terms of all the details involved, all the little things that are happening as we're shifting our weight and moving our arms from side to side. With all these little transitions, I think it's probably one of the most challenging moves in the form in terms of all, trying to put together all those details. So hopefully all that review on Friday helped out. Of course, we'll continue reviewing it into the future. There's always room for improvement, even for me. So don't worry about it too much. But yeah, today I'd like to then move on into the next 2 movements. In terms of our review of some of the earlier movements in the form, before we get into some newer moves later in the form. But these next 2, I would say, are probably relatively a little bit easier in terms of the details. So hopefully it won't feel quite as mind-boggling. All right, so the first one I'd like to work on is the one that comes right out of that last brush knee and step forward. So this is play the lute. All right, so we'll practice it. I'll practice it facing you a couple of times, and then we'll do it to the side as well. Because as you remember, the form goes from kind of right to left, and eventually back to the right. We kind of go back and forth. But as you'll remember, we were going straight towards our left with our final brush knee movement. Okay, so let's start off. I'll do it facing you, and I'll be a reverse. I'll be a mirror image. Okay, so your left foot will be forward. Your right hand will be extended about nose height, if you remember, and with the left hand kind of down by the hip, slightly out in front of the body as well. Okay, in a forward bow stance. All right, so for play the lute, we're going to take that half step forward with that back foot, so half the distance between your feet roughly. And as you do so, you're going to kind of reach out and grab with that right hand. Okay, so from our bow stance, we're going to take a half step, reach out and grab. And now as you shift the weight back to that back foot, you're going to pull that right hand in towards your waist, and the left hand will be nice and extended. It's going to come up underneath in front of the right hand. And then as we complete that motion, the fingertips of the left hand will point up towards the ceiling along with the toes of your front foot, of your left foot. So they'll kind of turn up together as you complete this motion. All right, and if I show you from the side, hopefully that'll give you a little better idea as well. Okay, so the front hand pulled down to my waist, while the other hand came up underneath, kind of nice and long, and then I turned up the fingertips and the toes together. Okay, and you'll notice again that my hands are along my center line. Okay, if you remember from before when we first learned this move, okay, the idea is you're reaching out, you're grabbing by the wrist, and you're pulling that person in, and you're bracing their arm with the front hand. Okay, so you can imagine their elongated arm is kind of over top of your hands. Okay, and that foot, you can imagine extending that heel. You can imagine you're reaching out and stepping on their foot too, if you want to throw that in there. All right, let's do that again, a time or two facing forward, and then we'll do it to the side. All right, so from the last brush knee posture, your bow stance, left foot forward, right hand extended. All right, we'll take a half step, reach out and grab, and now shift the weight back, pulling the right hand in, extending the left hand. We turn up the toes and the front fingers towards the ceiling into our 7-star stance. Okay, let's do that one more time. So from brush knee, take a half step, reaching out, grab, shift the weight back, pulling in, extending the arm, turning up the fingers and the toes. Okay, very good. All right, let's do that now facing the side. So why don't you just turn 90 degrees to your left as if we're doing the form from right to left. And I'll do it with you as well. Now I won't have to be a mirror image anymore that way as well. Okay, so left foot forward, right hand extended in our last brush knee posture. Take a half step, reach out and grab, shift the weight back, pulling the right hand in, left arm comes up, and we turn up our fingers and toes. Play the lute. All right, very good. Let's do that one more time. All right, so from our brush knee, half step, reach out, shift the weight back, pull the hand in, extend the left arm, and turn up our fingers and toes for the 7-star stance. Okay, all right, very good. All right, so let's build on that. So again, like I said, I feel like these movements are a little bit easier than all the detail-heavy kind of transitions of the brush knee movement. So hopefully this play the lute doesn't feel too bad. All right, so let's go ahead and review the next movement after that as well. Okay, I think I'd like to do two of the earlier movements in the form today. So let's go ahead and do one more play the lute, and then we're going to go right into repulse monkey and step backwards. Okay. So, and why don't we go ahead? Let's see. Let me think about this for a second. Let's do this one facing each other again. All right. So your left foot is forward, right hand extended in our bow stance. Brush knee. All right, half step. Shifting the weight back, pulling in. Left hand comes up and toes up. Play the lute. All right, so from here, number one, that right hand is going to come back to the hip, and And come up the side with the kind of fingers pointing down. Number 2, both palms turn towards the ceiling, staying in our 7-star stance. Number 3, right hand comes in towards the ear as you step back with your left foot. And number 4, you shift the weight back, turning the hips. The right hand passes over the left hand as it extends in front of you, and the left hand pulls back to your left hip. Okay, and you'll shift your weight back into a cat stance. So just like from White Crane spreads its wings, and just like the 7-star stance we did earlier, we're just now up on our front toe, but all the weight should be on that back leg. All right, so number 1, raise the left hand. 2, palms up. 3, left hand to the ear as you step back. And 4, shift the weight, turn the hips. Left hand passes over the right hand as you repulse, and the back hand comes back to the hip. We go up onto our front toes again. All right. Again, 1, 2, palms up. 3, right hand to the ear as you step back. 4, repulse to a cat stance. Left hand by the hip. And 1 more. 1, raising the hand. 2, palms up. 3, stepping back, left hand to the ear. 4, shift the weight and turn to a cat stance. So you repulse, right hand comes back to the hip. All right, good. Let's do that. Let's do that one more time facing this direction, and then we'll do it using the same orientation as the rest of the form when we normally do it. Okay. So let's get some more play the lute practice in there. So let's start from brush knee. All right, half step, grab, shift the weight back, play the lute. All right, 1, right hand comes down and up to the side. 2, palms up. 3, right hand to the ear as you step back. 4, right hand passes over the left hand. You shift and turn to a cat stance. Left hand comes down all the way to the hip. 1, 2, 3, stepping back. 4, repulse, cat stance. 1, 2, palms up. 3, stepping back. 4, repulse. And 1 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, good. Yeah, so you'll notice with this move, we're actually doing it 4 times. So that's the first time we've done that in this form. All the moves we've done so far had that pattern I was referring to in the previous class. We did 1 preparation, 3 part the main, 1 spreading our wings, and then we did 3 brush knee, and then 1 play the lute. So it's kind of like 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. But now we're going to mix it up a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to do 4 with this one. All right, so now let's do it with the other orientation, like we're doing the form on our own, going from right to left. So we've already turned to the left, and we've brushed knee a couple of times. So we're going to make our way over to the kind of left side of your practice space. Okay, so I'd say go all the way to the left, kind of as far as you can. So I'll go up here close to my wall here. And let's do that a couple of times facing this way. All right, so left foot forward, right hand extended for brush knee. All right, half step. Shift the weight back. Pull the right hand in, left hand comes up. Turn up the fingers and toes for play the lute. All right, 1, the right hand comes up to the side. 2, palms up. 3, right hand to the ears, you step back. 4, repulse. Shift back to a cat stance. Okay, you can see I'm up on my toe, got my hand by my hip, front hand, fingertips about nose height. Okay, pretty extended, not totally locked out at the elbow slightly bent. All right, 1, left hand comes up. See my hands are at a 90-degree angle. 2, palms up. 3, stepping back. 4, repulse, cat stance. Right hand to the hip. 1, hand up. 2, palms up. 3, stepping back. Hand to the ear, 4, pulse. And one more, 1, 2, 3, stepping back, 4, cat stance. All right, good. All right, let's do that again. And I'll try to talk a little less, see if you can remember those details, okay? I'll just kind of count as we go through those kind of 4 steps of repulse monkey. All right, so from brush knee, half step, reach out and grab, step back, and play the lute. All right, repulse monkey, 1, 2, 3, stepping back, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, good. All right, let's do that one more time. And what I'd like to do this time is focus a little more. Hopefully your muscle memory is starting to kick in. The move's starting to feel a little more familiar. I would say this time, see if you can do it and really kind of focus on your breathing and watching your hands. Okay, these are other kind of fundamentals of Tai Chi practice. As you learn these forms, and you can spend less time watching me as you're learning, and you start feeling more comfortable with the movements. It's good. It's always good practice to watch your hands. So maybe if you're parting the mane, you're watching that hand that's parting. Okay, or if you're in this case, as we're doing repulse monkey, what I would say is if I do it from this side, just so you can see, you're going to watch the hand as it comes up to the side, turns over, and then watch the hand as it comes into the ear, and continue watching as you repulse. Watch the right hand as it comes up. Okay, so just really focusing your mind on what you're doing, on your body and on your breath. Okay, and again with the breathing, I would say the idea is just to breathe naturally and do what feels right for you. So normally what I like to do is I'll inhale as I bring up the hand and turn it over, and then I'll exhale as I step back and repulse. Kind of like all the other moves, I try to breathe naturally, but I try to kind of begin with an inhale and finish with an exhale. Okay, all right, so as long as it feels nice and natural for you. All right, so let's do that again from the last brush knee posture, and yeah, just see if you can try to focus just on what you're doing. Focus on your hands. Focus on your breath. Okay, so from brush knee, step forward, grab, and shift back, and play the loop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. Very good. All right, well, hopefully that's starting to feel a little more comfortable. Some of these moves now we're getting kind of about a quarter of the way, I guess you could say, into the form now at this point. So yeah, we'll keep doing that though. We'll keep kind of going back and reviewing some of these earlier moves, as well as starting to introduce some of the moves in the middle as well. Some folks who are tuning in are brand new to this, and so I don't want to go too fast, but I don't want to go too slow either for some of the folks who are learning some stuff towards the middle of the form as well. So we'll keep practicing different sections of the form, and eventually you'll be able to put it all together. It won't be so bad. All right, and that's something else I'd like to do today is take just 5 minutes towards the end of class, and we'll just go through as much of the form as we've learned so far. Okay. All right. So now let's work on some moves towards the middle of the form now. All right. So last time we spent a lot of time on brush knee, and so we didn't really get to put much time into new movements. And so today I'd like to do a little bit more of that. But of course, I don't want to cover too much either, so we'll get lots of repetition. And this next move is right heel kick, and it's I would say, while brush knee I would say is more kind of detail heavy. I would say it's a little more challenging from the standpoint of kind of memorizing all these different movements. I would say some of the next couple of moves are probably more the physically challenging, but not necessarily too heavy on details. But of course, there are also ways to do these movements that are a little less physically challenging, and I'll talk about those as we get into it. That way, as you're learning these movements, you can. Sorry, my dog is snoring. I'm like, what's that noise? So as you're learning these movements, you can kind of increase the challenge. The more you do it, the more you practice, the more your legs get stronger, the better your balance gets. Okay, so it takes time to work your way into these moves. We're doing a heel kick movement, which involves bringing up the knee and extending a heel kick. But not everybody's going to be able to do that right off. It takes time to build the muscles at the tops of your legs to just bring that foot up and extend it and hold it up there. A lot of people, we start down here, and this is where I started too. So don't sweat that. And of course, from a balance standpoint, it takes time to build, the muscles in your ankles as well to be able to stand on one foot like that. Okay. So what we can do is we can do a lower kick and just place the foot down, which is actually where the foot's going to end up anyway after the kick. So really, it's not that big of a modification to the form, just to make it a little more easier to do. Okay, that foot will be right where it needs to be for the next movement. Okay, all right. So let's work on that a little bit. So the move before was high pat on horse. All right. So why don't we review that one just for a moment, and then we'll just to kind of spark our memories a little bit, and then we'll transition into this right heel kick. Okay, so I'm going to do this one as a mirror image facing you, and just like a lot of the forms we've been doing, you can imagine as we're at this part in the middle of the form, we've gone back to the left. Okay, so you'll remember after some of the we repulsed monkey, we ended up back over here. And then eventually we're going to do some grasp the sparrow's tail, and we're going to do some cloud hands, some single whips. Okay, we're gradually going to make our way back to the left again, essentially. And so that's kind of where we're at in the form. We've kind of gone to the left, and then we've gone back to the right, and then we've gone back to the left again. Okay, so just to kind of give you an idea of kind of where we are in the general kind of directional movements of this form. But now what we're going to do after we've done our second single whip kind of to the side, now after we do this high pat on horse, we're actually going to work the corners with this next movement. Okay, so as I face you, I'm going to be kind of going towards the corners. All right, so let's go into a single whip facing each other. So I'm a mirror image, so your left foot is forward, left palm extended in a side bow stance, so your back toes are pointed towards the side, and your back hand is in a crane's beak, kind of back at about a 45-degree angle. Okay, with the hand as high as the ear, front fingertips high as the nose. All right, so we'll take a half step with that back foot, and we're going to shift our weight back and turn the palms up. Now we're going to bring the right hand in towards the ear, and then we're going to press forward with the palm, with the fingers pointed towards the left, passing over the left hand as the left hand pulls into the hip, and we pull in our left toe to a T stance. Okay, so you'll end in this posture. I'll turn to the side just so you can kind of see. I've pulled in that left hand and the left toe while extending the right hand. Okay, let's do that one more time, and then we'll move on to the next sequence. All right, so from single whip, take a half step, shift back, palms up, right hand comes to the ear, And then we press forward with the palm as we pull in the left hand and the left toes. All right. All right, so now we're going to step towards the left corner, about 45-degree angle. We're going to step, and we're going to, essentially we're blocking down with that right hand, and the left hand is going to pass over in what we call like a spear hand, okay, or an inverted snake strike, okay? You're striking with the tips of the fingers, going for a soft spot, like the neck is, I think, the usual target in martial arts for these types of strikes, okay? So let's do that again. Let's go from high pat on horse, okay? So you're back in a T stance with your left foot forward, right hand extended, left hand by the hip. All right, step towards the left corner and walk down with the right hand, inverted snake strike with the left hand. All right, now you're going to turn that left hand over so that the arms are essentially crossed with both palms down. Now shift your weight back and separate the hands. Kind of like you're just making a big circular movement, okay? So you're going to come back, separate the hands, and now shift your weight forward to that left foot again. And now the hands are going to come down, and they're going to come up in front of the body, and they're going to cross with the right hand in front. And as you do so, you're going to bring that back foot up. Okay, so you can kind of take it just to a T stance for now, and you'll essentially end in this position with the hands crossed in front of the body, palms facing you with the right hand in front. All right, so from here, we're going to do the heel kick. Okay, and when you do this, break down the heel kick into two pieces. What you're going to be doing is you're going to bring up the knee, and you're going to kick towards the right corner, and then you're going to bend the knee and bring it back down with the toes up. So kind of like basically going into another 7-star stance, like when we were playing the lute. Okay, the hands are just going to separate in about a 90-degree angle. So almost like you're doing a repulse monkey or something again with the hands. And the front hand is going to go the same direction as the foot, and the back hand will be 90 degrees, kind of going towards the other corner. Okay, so let's break that down a little bit. Actually, let's just do the footwork for this movement. All right, so let's start in the high pat on horse movement. So we're facing the screen in a T stance. You just put your hands on your hips. All right, now let's step towards the left corner with the left foot. Shift the weight forward. And now shift the weight back, keeping the toes down. And now shift the weight forward again. Bring up the back foot. Bring up the right knee and extend the heel towards the right corner. Bend the knee and then set the heel down. Again, facing that right corner with those toes, with that foot. Okay. And alternatively now, so let's say that's a little bit too challenging, okay? I know this is a really physically challenging move. So let's talk about the alternative, all right? So let's do that again from the T stance with your left foot forward, facing the screen. All right, you're gonna step towards the left corner with that foot. Shift the weight forward. Shift the weight back. Now shift the weight forward again. Now bring up the back foot. And now just bring up the knee as high as is comfortable for you, and then extend the heel straight down to the ground, to that where we're going to land, okay? So this is kind of the alternative. You're doing the kick lower, and you're setting it straight down, as opposed to a higher kick and bending the knee and then setting it down, okay? So it reduces the amount of time you have to stand on one foot, but it still gives you a little bit of challenge. You bring up the knee and you kick and just set the foot back down, okay? So let's do that again with the kind of simplified footwork. All right, so we're in our T stance, facing forwards. All right, we'll step to the left corner, shift the weight forward, shift the weight back, and forwards, bringing up the back foot, kind of passing through a T stance. Bring up the knee and extend the heel and set the foot down towards the right corner. Okay, all right, good. Now let's do it the regular way. So for those of you who want to do it that way, keep doing it that way. I'm going to do it the normal way this time for folks who want to maybe try and challenge themselves a little bit more. Okay, and you can also do something in between. You don't necessarily have to get that kick way up there. Okay, you could also just do like a halfway kick, about halfway, bend the knee and set the foot down. Okay, so you can kind of do whatever feels right for you. You know, maybe you start out with just a kick and you set the foot down, and then maybe eventually you do a kick about quarter of the way up, and you bend the knee, and then you set the foot down. You know, as your legs get stronger, it feels more comfortable, and then eventually you do the whole thing. You bring up the knee, extend it as high as you can, and then you bend the knee again, and then you set the foot down. Okay, so you can kind of increase your challenge as you feel yourself getting stronger and as the move feels more comfortable for you. Okay, so do whatever way feels right for you. I'm going to do it the normal way now, facing the screen in a T stance. All right, so I'm going to turn, step to the left corner, shift the weight forward and back and forwards. Bring up the foot and the knee, pointing it towards the right corner. Extend the kick, bend the knee, and set the foot down, sinking back to a 7-star stance. Okay. All right, let's do that one more time, and then we'll talk about the hands. All right, so from the T stance, I'm going to step towards the left corner, shift the weight forward, back, and forwards, bring up the back foot, raising the knee towards the right corner, heel kick, bend the knee, and set the foot down to the 7-star stance. All right, good. Okay, so let's see here. Let's just do the arm movements kind of in a what I'll call like an on-guard stance. You know, your left foot's in front, kind of like you're ready for battle. Okay, but we're just going to leave our feet there for this exercise. All right, so let's see here. So we just did our high pat on horse. You can extend your right palm towards the screen, your left hand down by your hip. All right, turn towards the left corner and shift the weight forward, blocking down with the right hand, spear hand with the left hand. Turn the palm over of the left hand so that the arms are crossed now with both hands facing down. All right, shift the weight back, separate the hands. And the hands come down as you shift your weight forward. We're going to cross with the right hand on the outside, both palms towards the chest. Your weight is still forward. And you want your fingertips again about nose height. Right, now you're going to separate the arms, turning the palms outward, and extend the right palm towards the right corner and the left palm towards the left corner. Okay, so your hands should finish at about a 90-degree angle. Okay. All right, let's see. And then from there, we're going to pass through here as well. Okay, so it's kind of hard to separate this heel kick move from the move that comes right after it, which is a pretty simple move actually, but I'll still try to save that for next time. But let's shift our weight to the left foot and extend our hands towards the corners. Okay, you can imagine your kick is towards the right corner, so your eyes are kind of looking in that direction. All right, now kind of turn towards the right corner and turn the palms up and pull them in to your hip. Okay, so you kind of pass through this posture right here. So the hands basically they just turned over and they pulled in to the hip. Okay, and that's where we're going to end up with that 7-star stance. Okay, so this is kind of a transition into what the next move will be, but I'll save that for next time. All right, so let's do the hands one more time with just your left foot kind of towards the left corner, and then we'll put the hands and feet together. All right, so let's face the screen and do our high pat on horse with the hands. So Right hand forward, left hand by the hip. All right, turn towards the left corner. Walk down with the right hand, spear with the left hand. Turn over the left hand, shift the weight back, separate the hands, kind of circle them down, shift the weight forward. Right hand will cross on the outside of the left hand, hands towards the chest. Now separate the arms, turn out the palms, and press towards the corners. Right, now turn towards the right corner, turning the palms up and pulling them in to your hips. Okay, let's do that one more time. Then we're going to put all this together. So we're patting the horse towards the screen with the right hand. Turn towards the left corner. Spear hand as you shift the weight forward. Turn the left hand over. Shift the weight back and separate. Shift the weight forward as you cross the arms with the right hand on the outside. Palms facing the chest. Separate the hands. Turn the palms out. Press towards the corners. Turn towards the right corner. Palms come up and come back in to the hip. All right, good. All right, now let's put all that together. So from our T stance, facing the screen, we just patted the horse with our right hand. All right, step towards the left corner and shift the weight forward, spear hand. Turn over the hand, separate the hands as you shift your weight back. Shift the weight forward, crossing the arms with the right hand on the outside. The back foot comes up. Bring up the knee, kick, and extend the palms. Now bend the knees, you turn, palms facing up, then come down to the hip as you set the foot down for the 7-star stance towards the right corner. Okay? So you'll see that the foot and the hands go out together, and then they come in together as we set the foot down. Okay, so everything, one of those essentials, 10 essentials of Tai Chi is that the upper meets the lower. So the upper body and the lower body extend, and the upper body and the lower body contract and sink. Okay, let's do that another time or two, and then we'll move on. All right, so from high pat on horse, step to the left corner, spear hand, turn over the hand, separate as you shift back, shift forward, crossing the arms, bring up the back foot, extend the heel kick as you separate the arms, extend the palms, now turning towards the right corner, foot and the hands come in, palms turning up toward and make their way to the hip as you set the foot down. Okay, and again, if you're doing the a version that's a little easier on the legs, I would say just bring up the knee and the hands, extend the palm and the foot together, set the foot down, and then just turn and bring the hands in towards the hip. Okay, so I'll do that one more time. So I come up, and I'm going to separate the hands and extend the foot and just set the foot down. And I'm going to turning the palms up and bringing them in to the hip. Okay, so just a turning of the body after you set the foot down. Okay, all right, very good. So I know this is we're getting into some challenging movements here, but hopefully at least this introduction will kind of help you get familiar with it. And of course, like all the other movements, we'll spend some more time later on. We'll come back and review until it feels good for you. All right, so let's take just a couple of minutes and go through the form from the beginning all the way up to there. Okay, and I'll try to provide some of the verbal cues to make it a little easier. And I would say, not everybody can go that far. I know, that's not a problem at all. So I would just say, do as much as feels good for you, whatever feels comfortable, whatever you feel like you can do on your own. Just try doing that. And then from there, just stop and maybe just watch the rest, and that'll kind of help as you start thinking about what you need to work on what movements you want to focus on next in your training. Okay, so just do whatever feels whatever you can do. All right, so from the beginning, we're going to go from right to left. All right, feet together, hands at your sides, back straight, head lifting. Inhale, exhale, small step. Inhale, raising the hand. Exhale, pressing down. Turn to the right. Turn to the left, pivot. And shift to the right, form a ball, T-stance. Part the mane, grab and extend. Part the mane to the left corner. Back, forwards, forming a ball, T-stance. Grab and extend, and part the mane to the right corner. Back, forwards, forming a ball, T-stance. Grab and extend, and part to the left corner. One more time. Half step. Left palm over the right elbow. Turn, raising the arms up to the right. Exhale, pull the left hand down. Cat stance. White crane spreads its wings. All right, let's take a couple of steps back. Go right back into that cat stance. All right, turn to the left. Walk with the right arm. Left hand comes up. Right hand goes down. Turn to the right. Walk with the left hand. Right arm comes up. And step forward and brush knee. Shift the weight back. Block and twist. Forwards, blocking with the right hand. And brush knee as you step forward. Shift the weight back. Block and twist. Forward as you block to the right. Step. Brush knee one more time. Half step. Reach out and grab. Play the loop. Shift the weight back. Left arm comes up. And front toes. Pulse monkey. 1, 2, 3. Stepping back. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's take just like one step forward. Just create a little bit of space here. All right, so we're in our last repulse. All right, pulling the left toes in the left hand. Right hand curls around to form a ball. T-stance. All right, step forward. Reach out. Ward off. Reach out with the hands. Pull back. Fingers to the wrist. Turn. Press. Separate. Let's come back to the shoulders. Rolling the shoulders. Sink and push. Shift the weight back. Hands are extended. Turn to the right. Pivoting on the left heel. Shift the weight to the left foot. Form the ball. T-stance. And ward off. As you step. Reach out. Pull back. Fingers to the wrist. Turn and press. Separate. Shift the weight back. And push. Turn to the left. Block with the left hand. Right hand goes down. Turn to the right. Shift the weight. Right hand blocks. Forms a crane's beak. Feet stance. Turn the body to the left. Step and single whip. Turn to the right. Left hand comes down. Release the crane's beak. Shift to the left. Block with the left hand. Right hand comes down. Feet together. Shift and turn. Blocking to the right. Cloud hands. Number 2, step. Block with the left foot or left hand. Feet together. Block with the right hand. Step to the left. Block with the left hand. Feet together. Block with the right hand. One more. Step with the left foot. Block with the left hand. Feet together. Block with the right hand. Crane's beak. T-stance. Turn. Blocking with the left hand. Step. And single whip. Okay, let's take step back. This last single whip, half step. Shift weight back, palms up, right hand to the ear. Pressing forward as you pull in the left hand, the left toes for high pat on horse. Step to the left corner, spear hand. Turn over the hand, separate the hands as you come back. Shift the weight forward, cross the arms, right hand on the outside, back foot comes up. Extend the heel kick in the palms. Bring in, set the foot down, the palms come in, down to the hip. Okay. All right, very good. All right, so don't worry if that's still confusing. You know, there's always more to learn, always more to improve. I still get confused too. But yeah, hopefully it's starting to feel better and better with each class. Please let me know if you have any questions about any of these movements. I'm more than happy to set up some one-on-one Zoom or Skype sessions where I can see you and we can interact more and talk about, you know, what you need to work on. Okay. All right. Well, thanks again for joining me. We'll go ahead and bow out for the class, and anyone that wants to stick around afterwards, I'm going to do a good long stretch. Okay. All right. So feet together. We'll take our right fist in our left palm and bow. All right. Nice job. All right. Well, I guess if you're tuning out now, I'll see you on Friday. Otherwise, I'll see you in just a minute, and we'll get into some stretching. All right. Thank you. All right. Now that we're nice and warm from all that Tai Chi, let's do a little bit of a stretch. All right. So these stretches, I'll try to offer some alternatives. Some of these are more challenging to have us going up and down off the floor. Okay. But for this first one, you can do by putting your foot up on a piece of furniture, so your couch or something, or a chair that's up against the wall, won't slide, and you're just going to be sinking into that front knee, keeping the back leg straight. All right, I'm going to do this one on the ground. Right foot forward, right arm hooking underneath the knee, pressing forward on the back of the knee as you sink the hips. Keep the left leg extended, back straight. Feel it in your right hamstring, your left quad. All right, we're going to work the quad a little more. Put the left knee down, grab the left foot with the right hand, pull that foot forwards as you push your hips forwards as well, keeping your back straight with your left thigh. Pulling that foot towards the trunk. There's not really an easy an alternative for this one. If you're standing, I guess you could stand up, put one hand on a chair, and just grab one of your feet, and kind of pull it towards your trunk. That's a good quad stretch as well. Okay, switch feet. So put your left foot up on the furniture, or left foot forward if you're on the ground. Back leg straight and sink. Okay, again, if you're standing, you can just grab onto a chair or something, grab that bottom foot, pull it in, stretching the quad this way. And if you're on the ground, knee comes down, grab the right foot with the left hand, and shift your weight forward, keeping the back straight, pulling the foot in. All right, for this next one, if you're standing, I would say sit down, and you're just going to cross your legs, and you're going to pull that knee on top towards your chest, okay, to stretch the outside of your hip. If you're on the ground, put your right knee forward, knee bent about 90 degrees, extend the left leg as far back as you can, and sink on top of that right knee. All right, from here, just going to straighten the upper body up and down, pushing down on the right knee, pushing down on the back of the left hip with your left hand. Keeping the shoulders forward. Okay, you should feel this a little more on the top of your left quad. All right, we'll switch sides. So now those who are seated can pull their left knee towards their chest. Those on the floor, left knee forward, right leg extended back. Sinking over the left knee. Right. Straightening the upper body. Sit down on the left knee and the right hip. Shoulders forward. All right, now we're just going to sit down. Feel free to use 2 chairs. You can sit on one chair and put your feet up on the other chair if you don't want to get down on the floor. All right. And if you have 3 chairs, later on when we do our stretches like this, you can just put 1 foot on each chair. So makes it so you can still do all these stretches without having to get up and down. All right, so this one we'll have our feet together. Interlock our fingers. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward at the hips. Pushing your chest towards your feet, sinking the elbows. All right, now we'll cross over 1 foot. Doesn't matter if you want to be I'll be your mirror image. You can cross over your right foot, grab the bottom, the outside of the foot with the left hand, and straighten the leg as much as you can. Doesn't have to be totally straight. Just turning the ankle in, stretching the outside of the ankle and the calf. You can turn your upper body the opposite way to help make it easier to extend. Now cross that leg over. And left elbow to the outside of the right knee, twisting. Keeping the back straight up and down, stretching the upper body. All right, let's do the other side. So left foot over, grabbing with the right foot, extended, stretching the outside of the leg. All right, cross over, right elbow to the outside of the left knee, and twisting. Okay. All right, we'll come back to the front. And we'll separate the feet. If you're in a chair, feel free to, again, use 2 chairs if you can. 1 for each foot. Where you can really separate the feet. And inhale. Exhale, folding forward at the hips. Try to keep the back straight. Inhale, retreat a little bit, and exhale, sink a little bit further. You can grab your ankles, your toes, if that helps as well. Inhale, retreat. Exhale, sink 1 more time, a little bit further. Later on, when I'm doing the center splits, if it's too difficult for you to do those, I would say come back and do this one again. All right, we'll come back, hands over the head, and drop to the left leg, keeping the chest turned outwards, stretching the side of the body. All right, other side. All right, we'll come back to center. And we'll bring our soles of our feet together, pull them in, grabbing the front of the feet. Right. Flap our butterfly wings here for a second, opening up those hips. All right, now inhale, exhale, folding forward, pressing down on the insides of the calves with the elbows. You can probably do this one in a chair too. Okay, good. All right, let's get standing back up. All right. For this next one, we're going to separate the feet about twice shoulder width and turn your left toes out to the side. And with the right hand on top, left hand down on the inside, sink down. And if this is as far as you can go, that's absolutely fine. You know, as long as you can feel it kind of pushing your hip down, you should feel it on the inside of the leg. Or if you can go further, you can sink down, keeping the back straight, and you can even try to push out on that knee with the elbow. Try to keep the feet flat on the floor. This is very similar to the drop stance that you see in Tai Chi and Kung Fu. And if you've been working on the form, we're actually coming up on a drop stance. So stretches like this will help make those stances that much easier. All right, let's go to the other side. Turning the left toes forward, right toes to the side. And sink. Okay, back to the other side. And this time the right toes will be up. Try to keep the left foot flat. You sink down, stretching the inside of the leg. So again, if this is as far as you can go, then hey, that's great. As long as you're feeling it on the kind of underside and the inside of that leg. We can try to sink down even further. If you've done it enough times, your flexibility is getting better. You can push out on that knee as well. All right, other side. All right, and one last stretch on each side. This will be just like the first one, except now the toes are pointed out. Okay, if that's too difficult from a balance standpoint, then just keep those right toes pointed forwards again. Just do the same one as before. All right, but this one, if you keep the toes out, get a little more stretch on the inside of that extended leg. All right, other side. let's see. Let's do a couple more now. Towards the end here, we're going to get into our splits. So again, if you're doing these from a seated position, feel free to just do that one where you're on the floor with the feet separated, kind of going between the toes again. All right, if you want to do a more challenging version, we're going to have your feet flat, toes forward. Keep your hips between your heels as you sink down, supporting your upper body with the hands, sinking into a center split. Right, come out of that a little bit. Point the toes up and sink one more time. All right, carefully come out of that. All right. And just kind of sit on our feet for a second. Get our hips and knees feel a little bit better. All right. All right, let's do our side splits. So we'll do our right foot forward. Try to keep them straight. And you can just use your hands to support your upper body as you sink into the side split. Or if you want to use your upper body to press it down even more, challenge yourself. Bring up the hands. Extend them to the sides, keeping your shoulders forward. Okay. Switch sides. Ooh, those are tough. All right, left foot forward. Last one. All right. Okay. All right. Get our legs back to normal. Okay, and we're done. All right. Well, thanks again for joining me today. Thanks for sticking around for the stretch. If you're looking to improve your flexibility, and it'll of course it'll help your Tai Chi in the long run as well. All right. We'll bow to each other one more time. All right. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you Friday.